Hey, my name is Kale.
I'm Myra, and today we have Karina Lopez on as our guest.
Welcome.
So welcome, Karina.
Yeah, thank you. Welcome to Creative Muse. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so you're from the Midwest / LA. You've always been back and forth, right?
Basically.
Yeah. But you're currently in LA. How does it feel to be here, and do you feel like you're back at home, or how do you feel?
I do feel like I'm home.
Yeah.
Because something, I don't know, like for me, and I'm in LA, but it's like I don't necessarily, like I'm always like up, out and about. Like I'm really busy, so it's like to come here, I kind of feel like coming back to your roots for a little bit, you know? And then like my mom's here and stuff like that. So yeah, it like brings me down. Like it grounds me a little bit. Yeah, slower pace.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. So I mean, even coming back like this time, because I came last year, but this time too, like it is a little inspiring. Like I was just chilling in it's like you're chilling like your childhood bedroom room, and you're just like thinking about all the stuff that you've done over the past years, and you're like, wow, I used to dream about this stuff, you know?
Yeah, and that you're like actually accomplishing the things that you were thinking about when you were in that room when you were a kid.
It's only the start. The way that I feel of it, it's like only the start.
And so you're a photographer. You want to like talk about your style, like what, I guess, like, or maybe your story, how you started and everything like that.
Okay, so I started taking photos probably in like the 10th grade. You know, I had like it was like a Fuji film, like one of those like long, it was a digital camera.
Yeah.
And I would take pictures of that, and I remember there was like I always loved portraits. Like I love taking portraits. So I didn't and still to this day, who knows like in what style I've developed. I can't really explain it myself because I don't even feel like I'm there yet. But I always like taking pictures of people. Used to take people's senior pictures, stuff like that. Like
you took Jorge's senior pictures.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah. Wait, I can't cuss, can I? No.
Yeah, you can.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah. No. Sometimes we have to be
so
careful because we're in like some like
public place.
but nah, here we don't give a fuck.
So fuck the studios that were charging my friends like I don't know how much for senior pictures.
Yeah.
I think I did a pretty good job back then.
Yeah.
But
So you really like to capture somebody's essence and like their soul, and like,
I love that, and especially now because one of my favorite things to do is to take portraits. You know, like I love like getting like close to people, and I don't really like direct people a lot. That's one of the things that it's like when I'm with the model or with like someone, like depending on like what the photos are for, of course.
Yeah.
But I kind of like work around them, you know, like like I don't make
their
them
comfort.
work for me. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So if somebody's like not comfortable or somebody wants to, like, I kind of take pride in just like capturing their essence or their personality and stuff like that, you know. So
well, and you probably just are very good at making people feel comfortable.
Probably,
just
maybe.
with you being there.
I
Yeah.
hope so.
I know.
Yeah, I mean, the proof is in the pictures that you take. You know, everyone looks...
I like to feel that connection. You know, so I like to like make sure I can like convey that like to whoever's watching or whatever I do with the photos. Yeah. Because I'm big on like taking a photo and like not recycling it, but like, all right, this just can't go on Instagram.
Yeah.
You know, like I have to do something with it, especially if I really love it. So it's like, I've done a lot of art shows. Like I've made like little zines and stuff like that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Do you do like prints and stuff too?
Yeah, I have prints in my room.
That's cool.
I haven't really like sold any. Yeah. Unless I'll go to an art show and somebody's like, oh, I want this or whatever.
Not yet, anyway.
Yeah. So things like that. So I like to like kind of recycle the images and use them for different things. You know.
That's super cool.
So how much time, like a week, do you dedicate to photography and or editing, like your craft?
Okay, so a week, I don't know. Okay, so let me explain to you. Recently, I kind of stopped shooting. I really just stopped shooting just because I was like more like real life, like
you
know, because sometimes it consumes us a little bit. So I was more focused on like on other things, so I didn't really get to work on my craft, you know? And I guess that's one of the things where it's like, it becomes kind of a luxury, you know, to be able to work on your craft, it becomes kind of a luxury because you need time, you need energy, you need that creative space. Yeah. So I didn't really like make time for it, but up until recently, like, my boyfriend, he needed photos for like his merch that he was gonna put out. He had been designing it for a couple weeks, and he kind of gave me like last minute. Well, it wasn't the idea was not last minute, but he knew I was coming over here, so we had to do everything really fast. But we knocked it out. It looked great.
Nice.
So he kind of took me out of that slump a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
he
it
pushed you out of
me,
your comfort zone again.
Yeah.
Like he pushed you back out to
well,
it.
I think he brought me back to it because he was like, well, whatever you want to do. Like he kind of gave me like creative control, you know?
Nice.
And he had a couple people in mind, like who he wanted to shoot his like his
clothes,
stuff.
yeah.
And then so I was like, okay, you bring me the people, I'll set it up. So I booked a studio, and then for probably like 2 hours, he brought the models, and then we shot in like, I guess I'm really good like under pressure, you know, and like doing things like really fast.
I know what you mean by that.
Yeah.
Because I'm definitely the same way.
Yeah. So we just knocked it out, and then I was like, oh damn, we did it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's
the
really
next
cool.
day it probably took me like a good like, I don't know, I want to say like 4 hours to edit all the photos. Probably was like about 20 of them, and then we released the photos the next day. It was kind of like a lookbook, you know? Kind of like a lookbook.
Do you have any projects coming up with him or by yourself?
So we want to do this, I don't know, it kind of became like a little like, it was supposed to be his merch, but it kind of like became like, I want to do this more often. Yeah. You know? So
it's probably good networking too. I mean, you meet like a lot of people through the process.
Exactly. So through this, it's like, we put out the images and like the store. I worked all Thanksgiving. That's all I did. I was here, but I set up the whole store all Thanksgiving. So we were ready to launch on Black Friday, which was So
that's crazy.
Yeah, but I didn't have any other plans. You know, just be home. My mom's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, working.
Yeah, making that money.
Yeah.
That's funny.
So
that's awesome.
I mean, so we want to make it like a reoccurring thing, kind of. I don't know if we want to be like clothing brand, you know. We had what's it called, like a streetwear blog reach out to us. One of the writers, they were like, "Oh, we want to feature your clothing brand."
Yeah.
We're like, clothing brand, like, but we're like, okay,
it's merch. But
yeah. No, we gave them all the stuff, and then they're called Casual Fridays. If you want to look them up.
We're gonna have to follow them. Shout out Casual Fridays
on Instagram, Twitter. I saw
Camo Fridays.
Yeah. So they just post like drops basically.
Nice.
That's
like,
pretty cool.
That's super cool.
What else? So we want to do that like a reoccurring thing, maybe every 4 months, something like that. Just put some.
I might have to send some designs your way, because my business or my company would be Kalius. It's production and design. So a combination of doing like the music production and stuff like that.
Cool,
but then also the design work on the side. So
yeah, that's dope.
Yeah. One thing we've talked about actually a lot on this podcast, because we've talked to quite a few photographers so far, is that whole like getting over the awkward first like 15 to 30 minutes. Because a lot of times when you first meet somebody, there's like that, it's kind of uncomfortable at first, you know? And like you kind of have to like get into this groove.
Especially if you don't know them.
You gotta warm up.
Yeah, especially if you don't know them.
Yeah,
right? Exactly.
You gotta
like
warm up.
Yeah.
So how do you get past that?
Okay, so one of the things that I do is like, say they're already ready to go, they're in front of me or whatever. All right, let me check the lighting. You know, check my aperture, everything, you know, I'm adjusting. And I really am adjusting settings, stuff like that. But I kind of start like already like clicking, noising or whatever. So then we just kind of move. I think just even shooting, just starting to shoot first, just even if the pictures are horrible, like, or whatever, it's just like you're getting the person like warmed
used
up.
to it.
You know, I always try to make like small, I'm not like super big on like, I mean, I guess, right now I'm a little comfortable, you know, but like there can be times where I am a little awkward or anxious or whatever, but always like making like small talk, talking about them, what they do or whatever, you know. What they want, that's a big thing too. Like some people want to see the pictures, some people don't, you know.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's kind of
Some people have an idea in their head
of like what they want,
or a certain picture they want.
Yeah, I'll always be open to people showing me like other people's posts, you know.
Oh yeah.
So I'm not gonna copy, but it's like, okay, mood boards, like making mood boards, that's a big thing. Like, especially if I'm working like with like a team or something, like makeup artist, stylist, or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's like somebody will put together a mood board. Okay, this is the theme. This is what I kind of want to go for. Okay, then we'll all like collaborate and like, you know.
Could you explain that? What is a mood board, I guess?
A mood board is just like, I mean, you could take the pictures off Pinterest, off Instagram, like you could, like kind of like a little collage.
Okay.
So there's like these collage apps that you can make. So it's like, okay, like, or pictures off Twitter, whatever, like off other artists, and you just like kind of like collectively put it together.
So it's like
That's
a
like
collage.
the vibe that you're going
Yeah,
for.
so like a collage, basically.
Nice.
Like, yeah, that was one of the things
That's
I did when I
cool.
was younger, just like taking magazine pictures and like making little like collages,
Yeah.
stuff like
I
that.
feel like I remember that.
Yeah.
growing up.
Dope.
You had like hella magazines.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
that's awesome. So you'd like cut them out and all that.
Yeah.
Nice. I mean, I remember doing that in like art class.
Yeah.
I
Well,
do
like
that.
I do that. It's like
Yeah.
a dream board. Is what I
Yeah,
have.
exactly.
There you
Kind of
go.
like a dream board. Yeah.
Very cool. I do a lot of that digitally.
Yeah.
Because I have an
That'll work.
iPad Pro, so I'll just drag
Yeah.
stuff around and cut stuff out. And,
Yeah, it kind of like puts your thoughts together, you know? That what for me, it kind of puts my thoughts together and like and visually like saying like, okay, location, then you
Yeah.
have to think of location,
Yep.
what they're gonna wear, you know, how they're it's all about the details. Like to me
Yeah.
it's all about the details.
Yeah.
What to wear? That's always like my hardest thing. Whenever I do a shoot, I'm like, oh, what am I gonna wear this time? Like, I already wore that shirt, but I
Yeah.
like that shirt. But
I feel like clothes is one of the most important thing, like when it comes to
Yeah.
taking pictures. I'm not saying like, oh, it has to be designer or
No.
cool or
Right.
whatever.
It has to be
but
yourself.
Has
It,
to be
it has
you.
to be you and like I'm big on colors.
me
So
too.
the colors have to be like that's what's gonna make to me that's gonna make the picture pop. You know?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep, I really agree.
Yeah.
What would you guess my color is?
Green, gray, black,
No. Yeah, I'm not wearing it really, but
red.
Yeah.
Oh, red.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was telling a friend of mine I used to think blue was my color, but no, I like red.
I
like
don't
red
even think
more.
I have a color.
I don't either.
Black.
Black. I
Yeah.
think black is your color.
Yeah.
Yeah,
True.
I feel like it's whatever you closely tie it to, because like red is a very like fierce, passionate color, and so I think that's why I really associate with it, is because I'm just a very passionate person.
Passionate,
I'm very,
yeah.
I like really care about things. Whereas I feel like blue would be more like serene and kind of calm, and so people who are blue are more like calming to be around, I think. But,
True.
Yeah.
True.
But everybody can have their own definition about colors too.
Yeah.
And that's what's so like perception changes that.
Yeah, no, definitely percent. Because somebody can look at red and be like, "Oh, that makes me angry."
Yeah. Oh, it makes me mad. Which certain kinds of red do. Like I remember working at Apple, we'd switch from a blue shirt to a red shirt, and I'd be like, "Oh, I feel uncomfortable. I feel anxious because everybody was red."
Oh,
and it was
yeah.
such a bright, like, just in your face color.
Yeah, I've been into like an infrared sauna, and you can change the
Okay.
lights.
Yeah.
And then every light has like every color of light has like a different mood that it's supposed to like
like
bring out of
tell
you
you.
or whatever. So they
That's
had a lot of
cool.
blues, a lot of light,
A lot of really soothing.
like soothing stuff. So
Yeah.
I believe that.
Yeah, color theory definitely.
Kind of like with like the seven
Yeah.
chakras too. I don't know if you're familiar with that. I'm sure Alma would be.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah.
We've been
Sure
getting
would.
into that metaphysical
Yeah, actually,
conversation
I started
recently.
doing
like,
Reiki. I don't know if you're familiar with what
What is
Reiki
that?
is. It's so it's energy healing, and it's just like helping realign your chakras and finding like the negative space within your body and
I think I
helping
need
you
to
move
do that.
through- I did it on.
Yeah,
him the
she
other
did it
day.
on me, and it was awesome.
A lot
it
of
was a
times
really
you can
good
feel like a
experience.
physical presence, like when I do it on Jorge. Sometimes he feels like just vibrations of your body, or just like waves of energy.
Well, I feel like all my tension is in my gut.
Oh.
All my tension is in my lower back and
Yeah.
sometimes my shoulders.
Yeah, it's
You
crazy
know?
because sometimes like depending on the chakra that's like having low energy, that's gonna cause some physical damage. So like for example, your throat chakra, like people will get a sore throat or have hard time communicating with other people.
Oh, yeah.
Like if it's just kind of crazy.
Yeah, I believe in all that stuff, but I just have yet to learn more and more about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
It's like a constant process, I think. And I think the other thing is it's kind of, at least the way I see it now, is it's almost your duty to help other people with that. And like when you see that they're struggling with it, just be nice and be like, hey, here's a tip. And
Yeah,
if you
here's
take
the
it,
tip.
great.
Yeah.
But if you don't, whatever.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, I guess
more
that's something
people
we
should
could
be
talk
like
about.
that. Actually.
It's like
Yeah,
taking
it's a good way to do it.
criticism, like how has media affected how you are able to like take that constructive criticism? Or,
I guess, okay, when it comes to criticism, I don't want to say I'm not open to it because I feel like I am, but if it's valid, you know, like I'm not just gonna let anybody be like, oh, you should do this, because I'm gonna be like, no.
Well, and I feel like there's a difference between somebody saying, hey, this might work better for this reason, and somebody saying, hey, I just don't like that. It's like there are certain choices you're going to make as a creative person that you just know is the right choice. And so like when somebody questions you, you're like, well, you know, I appreciate your opinion.
Yeah,
but,
exactly.
How does that work out with like your boyfriend, like working together creatively?
Okay, so believe it or not, this is like the first thing that we ever kind of do creatively.
Did together?
Unless he, like actual project, I would say.
Yeah.
But he's had like me shoot for like some of his artists, you know, like before that he's kind of just starting to get like, I guess,
he's like
take off.
them,
You're not cultivating, exactly.
Yeah.
So he wants to like have like an image for them and like build kind of like report, you know, like
Nice.
all of that stuff.
So does he have a label? Sorry.
He doesn't have a label, but you know, he's definitely working on it.
Yeah. It's actually really easy.
Yeah.
So yeah, I can tell him some things. So.
I don't know
sure.
anything about that, but
Cool.
yeah, so he kind of makes me work more on like I guess like that image side.
Yeah.
So we've had like little shoots here and then. He'll bring clothes and stuff like that, and then we'll just, you know, kind of like little dolls almost, like dress them, take pictures of them.
Yeah.
But yeah, like he'll give me pointers and tips like that. I'll always like, you know, obviously with reason, I'll be like, okay, yeah, you're right, or this and that. We kind of just go back and forth, you know?
Right.
Like change this, change that, change this. Okay, do this, do that, you know?
Yep. So you guys have like a really open communication between each
Yeah,
other.
we kind of have to.
That's
you know?
awesome.
Yeah, that's kind of one of the things that I like. I guess that I love about the relationship. You know, it's because it's like creative. You know, like I don't think I could be with somebody that did nothing creative. I don't know what I would. Like,
I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah, so it's like if you know, and especially to be able to work with someone. Like it makes me feel really good. Like I'm not gonna say it validates me, but like it makes me feel like
better,
this is right. You know, like this is right. You know,
that's awesome.
That's a good way to put it. Yeah.
That's a really good thing to have.
Yeah, it's special. Definitely.
Yeah, because I feel like a lot of people do get in these like uncomfortable situations, and then they like don't really see it any way out of it. And I mean, I theorize that there's a lot of people that straight up get married and like have kids and stuff, and the whole time they're just like, man, this sucks.
Oh my God.
And it's like, so that's way better. And like I'm definitely the same philosophy. Like find somebody that's in your wheelhouse and like has enough of the same interests and bring something.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. Bringing, like, you have to bring it out of each other, like almost challenging each other, but like being able to bring out like the good, you know, just in any other thing too, like not just like art creatively, you know, just bring out the best in each other.
And that's like with any relationship, like whether you know, boyfriend, girlfriend,
romantic or
partners,
partners, definitely friends, you know,
exactly.
that's a big thing
coworkers,
too. Coworkers, even like you have to be able to communicate and like, you know, bring the best out of each other.
Yep, definitely. Well, I think also to like reaching out to those people that you're interested in, even if you think it's a long shot. Because
definitely sending DMs will go a long way.
Yeah, because I've even done that where like I've messaged people on Instagram and I'm like, yeah, this person's probably never gonna hit me, but if I blow up or something like that, then they might. And if I've already sent them a message, and it's like,
but yeah, so sometimes a lot of DMs will go unnoticed, but you never know, somebody might hit you back. Doesn't matter. Or in exactly what you said, maybe in 2 years they want to hit you up and they'll be like, oh, this person already messaged me.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, yo, I just noticed this. And it's like I really want to meet Kanye at some point, right? And I'd love to work with Kanye, but that's insane. But it's like, why not at least put some feelers out there and like give it a try? Or you never know, like somebody else might see that and then they're like, hey, I see that you're open to collab. Like, would you want to collab with me? And it's like, well, let's listen to your stuff.
That's kind of what I've been doing. I've just been like seeing people. Like it started with like, oh, I like these people on social media, like literally, and I just want to be able to get to know them like on a personal level. Like, why don't we just do it? Why don't we just like actually talk to them?
Well, that's the thing that you have to actually do. Like, stop thinking about stuff and like just do it, because you never know, and it might be something totally unexpected.
It's as Shia would say, just do it. Just do it.
it's kind of crazy how it did just kind of, like, we hung out one day, and probably within a week we had already shot our first, like, episode.
Multiple
and then
episodes.
after that,
We had 2 episodes
in
done
one
on the
day.
first day.
With who? Just with other artists?
Just some people we know.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah,
some different artists.
We know our friend, she's an acrylic painter. She works with some really well-known artists in Omaha. So, yeah. And then we've got, friends everywhere, so.
Yeah. And right, that night we had a producer that we know who does like hip hop beats and stuff like that.
Oh,
so,
cool.
Yep. So he actually came out here. This is our second time in Sioux City, because we did it with a photographer duo, and then we did it with rapper who goes by Reno. I don't know if you've heard.
I think I took pictures of him
Reno?
one time.
Yeah, I did too once. And so Gonzalo, our friend who's a producer, came out and he like kind of co-hosted. So we've just been working with that, like getting to know people. Like, and who would you recommend? And who would you recommend? Just to, like, kind of keep building what we're doing,
And, like, every single person that we've met with, I feel like we get a completely different perspective, which is, I mean, that's the goal, ultimately.
Yeah.
And I don't think we knew that at first. I think we were kind of, like, trying to figure out, like, okay, we know we want to have creative people. We know we want to, like, discuss the muse, which we should probably bring up at some point and talk about. But at the end of the day, like, what are we trying to do? And I think, like, we've kind of figured it out that, like, finding people's perception and figuring out what your perspective on things is.
Well, with it, the Muse, like our name is Kreative Muse, because are you familiar with what a muse is?
Isn't it like, does it have to be a person?
No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I just know it was like
it
a
could
person.
Be a person though.
Or something that inspires you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's from like the Greek mythology, so that's like why like we named it Kreative Muse. So that's like the thing we like to get to know is like, what's your muse? Like some people it might be a place, it might be like a thing, it might be like a journal, it might be another person,
right, or an idea even.
Yeah.
So
or themselves as an alter ego, like literally it could be anything.
I guess for me it would probably be, I romanticize like a lot of things.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because I'm a girl, but
I do too.
I do too. Yeah.
No, well, I mean, what inspires me is basically just, I guess, the future.
Yeah. Okay.
You know?
I love that.
I always kind of think of like, all right, like what could I do? Like what could I do now that's gonna like benefit me then? Not benefit me, but that could possibly like grow into something.
Are you a big daydreamer?
I think my whole life I've daydreamed. So that's why I say the future, because it's like I'm not saying like I always like find myself like, oh, I want to do this, want to do this, because I will when the time comes, you know. But I'm big on daydreaming.
I've had a lot of moments, even within the podcast, of deja vu, and I'm like, I dreamt this. Like,
I've already, it probably was one of your daydreams.
Yeah, it was.
Oh man.
And now we're here, you know. So
a lot of manifestation. Maybe.
Yeah, manifestation for sure.
Yeah.
Dude, I remember when we were in California with Alejandra, we had some like deep conversations about this kind of stuff too. And I was telling him about how we met up there with
in Tamron.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then how we stayed in Oakland.
Yeah.
And then I was telling him about how that fire came.
Yeah.
That was like some.
That was some. I just remember just feeling that.
That's very sad. And I think about Johnny all the time.
Yeah, Johnny.
Yeah, his name's Johnny. But even the conversations that we had with him, he was such a wise person.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like he was probably he was older than us. He was probably like 30.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
we were like
a whole
21.
lot of life.
We
A
were
whole
like
lot of
21,
life in him.
Really?
He was like,
Yeah.
you guys need to go out more. You guys need to do this, that. It's like all about experiences, you know?
But he was also kind of like, he just, in a weird way, he also made me feel safe, you know?
Yeah,
what I mean?
same.
He
Me
opened
too.
up
He
his
opened
home
up
to
his home to us. It was
I
so
love
fun.
it,
But he was, well, R.I.P., but he's a DJ. So, like, old school type DJ. Like, he played, like, vinyl
like
that
vinyls.
day. Yeah, so he was opening up for Maya Jane Cole, which is like a big techno DJ. She's a girl. And it's so funny because I would send him a lot of prints too.
Yeah.
So and then I guess he had mentioned my work to like one of his friends. Her name is Erica. I also know, I have a lot of social media friends.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like, I've never met her in person, even though I've gone to San Fran. I feel bad, but she's always working. She's a bartender.
Oh.
So she's big in the music scene too, but she's like
Definitely.
doing bartending and stuff.
Yeah.
So, but she told me, she sent me some pictures. She was like, hey, I went to Johnny's apartment and he had your stuff hung up. Aww. And it's so heartfelt because I love that. I love walking. If anybody that I've ever taken pictures of or something, or have some sort of connection like that, even if you have my picture on the wall, like, it makes me feel good.
Aww.
You know?
Oh, that is
beautiful.
Yeah. I have a bunch of my friends' art hanging in my apartment.
Yeah, so definitely. That's a big thing. Like, you know, you walk into some people's, I mean, I'm not talking shit, but it's like, you know, Target, TJ Maxx stuff, you know?
Actually,
like, I have a lot of like art that I've collected just over a lot of books, you know, that I've just collected at art shows and things that I go through, you know?
I saw a piece at, I think it was Target, and I was like, I want this, but I'm like, but I don't want to buy it. It was like $130. No, don't
buy it. Just go on Twitter or something.
I sent a picture to Itzel Chavez,
and she made it.
And I was like, can you make this? She was like, yeah. And then she got it to me, and I was like, yay!
That's so much better. That's so much better.
Supporting my friends
supporting your
amazing
friends.
artists. Like,
of course. We need to do more of that collectively.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, and you can find stuff you can even start inexpensively too, and like find people who are willing to sell it for like not that much, and then like build up to when you have more money and you can spend more money on your friends.
Yo.
For real.
Honestly, but
hell yeah. We could probably talk about music a little more. So your boyfriend, what you said he does? What kind of music again?
Like trap music.
Trap. Okay, cool.
He does a lot of trap music.
Cool.
So he works with like. Okay, so he did a lot of Puya's like not older stuff. Yeah. So the whole Drop Out of School mixtape, I don't know if you listened to it. That's all him.
Okay. What?
Yeah, him and Puya and Fat Nick did this.
Didn't he just recently have something on a movie or something?
Yeah. So that's who I got to model. That's who he got to model the stuff. So he had this rapper named IC Narco.
Okay.
Yeah. So him, he modeled the stuff for us, but he did a song with him about like a year ago, 2018, I think it was. It's called Link. And that song, it was on Rambo, the movie. It came out.
What? That's crazy.
Yeah. So I mean, he's a pretty like, I mean, obviously he has way farther to go, but I'm super proud of everything that he's accomplished. Because we've only been dating 2 years, but we've been friends for like a really long time. So I've kind of seen him transition. Yeah, exactly. So I've seen him from like I don't want to say the ground because it's like he's been doing this forever, you know?
Yeah.
But I've definitely seen him like his rebrand. He went from like making trap music under a different like EDM trap music and stuff from like a different alias to like, I don't want to do this. He did a lot of ghost producing. He probably did ghost producing for like 2 years, something like that. And then he was like, no, I don't want to do this. Because it's like what we were talking about, like I'm doing stuff for somebody else. Like I want to do something for me.
Yeah.
So then he came up with another alias and then started making the trap music. He linked with, I guess, Fat Nick and then Puya. They made that mixtape, and then since then he's just making stuff for like other people.
Oh wait, I know that mixtape because it has the fire.
The fire in the back. Yeah, that's him.
I've listened to that.
Yeah, that's he made all of things.
That's dope.
He made
that was like a breakout. Tape.
Yeah, it was cool because
like for sure.
I think that was the first time that they did something together, other than like a couple songs. But that was like the first time that they did like a whole
mad respect
project.
To
yeah.
I don't listen to Fat Nick a ton, but you know, shout out to him too. But Puya is pretty inspirational to me because I feel like he's homegrown and he's not about like getting into a label or anything.
Yeah, pretty independent. That's one of the things that we like to keep, and my boyfriend's big on too is like just kind of keeping some sort of ownership, you know, in his stuff because you know people they work hard. They work really hard for it. I admire. I honestly, if anything, he's probably another one of my muses because it's like I work a day job, you know, so it's like I was saying, it's like a luxury, but at the same time, it's not a luxury because it's like the people that are able to live off of their craft, you know, he doesn't have to go to work every day. Like he, you know, works from home. He has his schedule. He does like his things and things like that. So it's like to be able to do that is like a huge accomplishment in itself.
Right.
To make your livelihood off of your craft and like, you know, to be able to build a fan base that supports you and like his supporters are like amazing,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
like amazing. Like they even like support me, and I'm just his girlfriend, you know. But
That's awesome.
yeah, so it's like it's real good, like real good energy and stuff like that.
That's awesome.
I'm all about good energy.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
good energy.
Yeah. Well, I wish he would have came to
I
Nebraska.
wish he would have came
Yeah.
too. You guys could
Well,
definitely interview
Yeah,
him.
we'll definitely have
well,
to meet him.
Maybe we could go to LA.
Yeah, or that, definitely.
Yeah,
We're all about coming out
he
to Cali.
wanted to come. He was gonna come,
Good
but
energy,
then
Cali.
life got a little too fast for us, and I was like, no, it was way too expensive for him to like both of us to come
Yeah.
for this amount of time.
Yeah.
You know?
How long did you were here for 2 weeks? Or?
No, I was here for like 5 days.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
damn.
5 days.
That's a
Oh,
quick
yeah.
turnaround.
just
right
just
there.
the Thanksgiving break.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you won't be back for Christmas. You'll be out there. Or?
Yeah, I'll be out there.
Nice.
I'm trying to come at least once a year.
Yeah.
There you go. That's
Just
good.
to-
Yeah, it's good to like get back with family and like, catch up
with my
and kinda
mom.
see
My
where
mom
everybody
goes
is.
to LA all the time, but it's not the same.
Yeah.
You know, and
Yeah.
I don't want to not come over here.
Yeah, you
because-
like it's like what you were talking about earlier, like the slow down.
Yeah, you kind
kinda-
of like it. Just kind of like
Grounds
for me,
you.
it just kind of like grounds me a little bit. You
Yeah.
know?
That's important.
Yeah, it is because you could definitely get lost over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
A lot of people get lost over there.
So one thing, Myra, she talked about the muse, and she kind of talked more about the creative side, but we've also kind of discussed quite a bit that there's another side of it, and it's the procedure and the kind of practice of being a creative
The
person.
actual work.
Yeah.
The actual work that's involved. Yeah. So maybe you can talk a little bit about that. I know for sure, like you're talking about, oh, I work a full-time job and, you know, I maybe don't have as much time, but that's as much of part of the whole process
Yeah.
as anything. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
So okay, so a little about my daytime job. And I'm only gonna talk about it just because it sparked what I'm trying to venture in now.
Okay.
You know.
Absolutely.
So it is an e-commerce business. The owner takes like it's called penny stock from like big department stores, so like Macy's. So he's buying this clothes like super cheap. He takes that clothes. It's like an obviously system,
Yeah.
but he takes that clothes. We list it. So technically, I'm a lister.
Yeah.
You know, so we shoot the image because we can't use stock images and a lot of the stuff for copyright issues.
Right.
So I shoot the stuff. I write like attributes of like measurements and like
Yep.
you know it's really repetitive.
really
Yeah.
long forms.
Yeah,
that
really,
you gotta fill
exactly.
out,
Really
yeah.
long forms, and then we just submit it, and then boom, it's on Amazon and eBay. So
Cool.
he's developed like an actual like software system thing where it's like we do it all on one, and then it's like boom on to every
And it does
platform.
auto. That's awesome.
So
'Cause they all have nodes that you can
yeah,
connect to.
and there's
yeah.
a lot of things that you can use, can't use, you know. So I'm
Right.
writing. So that kind of inspired like me to like do more of the e-commerce thing, because to me it's like it's not fun, but it's like I find it really interesting. You know, and to
Yeah.
be able to I know that there's companies like startups and stuff like that that just develop products, and that is their they don't have retail stores, they don't have
Yep.
you know, anywhere else to
They just
sell
have a
their
warehouse
stuff.
they
Yeah.
ship stuff out of.
Yeah,
or
so
not even that sometimes.
yeah, not from the shipping from their
Their
house.
home,
Yeah,
That's,
exactly.
that's what we're gonna do. But
There you go. There you go.
so I wanted to start helping like small businesses, small artists, and I'm like, Shopify is not a very hard platform to do,
Okay.
like to figure out.
Yeah.
But it really like some people either don't know how or know computers that much, or
Right.
some people don't have the time to do it, or some people just don't even want to be involved. They have so many other things to do, like
Yeah.
so I figured, okay, let me figure this out, and I can help people like sell their art or sell their whatever they
Their
want to
merch,
make
their- yeah.
candles, you know, like
Yeah.
you know, just like
There you
make
go.
some, you know, just make some more money like off of what you love to do. I like encouraging people.
Yeah.
You know,
That's
like,
super cool.
Yeah, I don't like I said, I don't do my stuff like full time, nothing like that, but I find a big like accomplishment in just helping somebody like you know like do what they want to do, because
cool.
yeah, so
That's like what you like to do.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, so when Myra told me about this, I was like, yeah, I'm down.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Because
That's
yeah,
super awesome.
I'd seen that you posted you were gonna be in town. I was like, we need her. We
Yeah.
need to have her on.
Yeah.
No way we can't.
So that's what I want to do, kind of like with like the e-commerce thing, because
Yeah.
I don't have anything I want to sell yet, you
Yeah.
know.
Not
I
yet.
started, okay, so last year when I was shooting a lot, and I started this kind of like collective. I call it collective. I don't know why, because it's only me, so it doesn't make any sense. But what I want to do with it is, it's called Your Eyes Only. So what I want to do with it is I want to just kind of have like freelance artists, you know, and just create things. So whether it be like photo shoots, I've done one photo shoot for it, like
Yeah.
specifically for it. I made like a zine out of my photos.
Right.
And then I made some beanies. I probably should have brought you guys some, but I didn't.
Oh.
Sorry.
Next time.
I'll send you my address.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So but I don't. I'm not saying I want to make merch or like make it a clothing
Yeah.
brand, because that's not. I don't design, but
Yeah. That's not the end goal.
yeah, exactly. But I do want to be able to have it be super interactive. Like I want to be able to throw like maybe a small little show at like a art center or something like that, and just kind of like slowly build the brand. But it's like more curating, I would say. Like I want to be able to like curate the artists, like, you know, that are in it and come in and out, because I
Yeah.
don't expect anybody to stay, but you know,
Right.
just kind of have like a little platform.
Yeah.
Well, and it's like you're giving people an opportunity to do something that they're really good at, and that's fulfilling.
Yeah,
And-
exactly.
yeah.
That was the word I was looking for earlier.
Yeah.
It was like fulfilling for me to like do something like that, you know?
Absolutely. That's like hand in hand with what I'm trying to do.
Yeah.
Because that like Kaylee's production and design, like sure I do production and design, but I can't do all of it. And so my thought is, and it sounds like you're probably thinking maybe something similar, is that you go after maybe larger projects that everybody can contribute to, and you're all working on the same thing, and then you get all these different perspectives, you get all these different ways of doing things, mediums, you know, and stuff
Yeah.
like that. So
Yeah.
that's awesome.
Yeah, I was explaining to Myra this earlier. I was like, there's also an art in like just bringing people together. You know, being able to like curate, like people get paid for that. You know, like being
Yeah.
able to like curate something. Like there's such a eye for it and a vision for it. You know,
Yeah.
so. Yeah.
So I DJ and I curate playlists as well.
Mhm,
I have
that-
like 30
exactly.
playlists that are on Apple Music and Spotify. I don't get anything for it, but
Yeah, but it's fun.
It's really fun. It is. Yeah. There's something about like taking Mac Miller and putting him next to Michael Jackson that you're just like, I never would have thought that would have
Yeah.
worked, but hey, it
Make it
does,
work.
you know?
Yeah, I want to learn how to DJ. I don't have the time or space to like do it right now, but
Yeah.
and I have made like little mixes like before a long time ago,
For
like on
real?
virtual DJ and stuff like that.
Yeah. That's sick.
But I now with my boyfriend, he used to DJ a long time ago, but now he doesn't really
He
do
doesn't.
it.
What does he use, by the way?
For what? To DJ?
Yeah. Yeah, like what softwares? And
or just for
To
his
DJ or
like,
for production?
For
Oh,
production.
Fruity
software,
Loops,
yeah.
FL Studio.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
Very
so
popular.
he's a FL Studio person.
Nice. I'm
Yeah.
Machine. So
What is that? I never
it's
heard of that.
Native Instruments.
Oh, Native Instruments. Oh, so
Yeah.
is it the actual like beat pads?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
okay, that's cool.
So I have a Machine Micro.
I've
That's
always
what I use.
seen little videos and stuff. They're super.
They're
dope.
fun. I'm gonna start making a lot of those videos because I'm trying to get some attention towards
So
that.
do you like kind of like, what is it called? The I guess like the lo-fi
Oh,
music.
lo-fi hip-hop
Yeah, like
and that
lo-fi
kinda?
hip hop.
Yeah.
They use a lot
Hell
of
yeah.
that stuff, don't they?
Yeah, a lot of people will. I mean,
Like experimental, basically.
yeah.
Yeah.
My style of music is gonna be really weird,
Uh-huh.
and honestly, with Machine, you could do anything. I mean, you could really make whatever kind of track you want because a lot of it's all software based.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
So if I go in there and I'm just clicking, I mean, I could click a whole beat and like, you know, melody and everything.
Yeah.
And it could be whatever I want. It could be, you know, jazz. It could be something more classical or something like that. I use a lot of vinyl samples as well.
Oh, vinyl
So,
samples.
yeah, and those are good
you
for, like,
get, And you
hip-hop.
get them? Like you
Yeah,
rip them
yeah,
off
I
of
sample
them,
them
record them?
myself.
Oh, okay,
So
cool.
my grandma left me a huge box of old records, and so I've just been going through them and I buy records and stuff, and then I throw them on the turntable and pull stuff off.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's super cool.
That's super cool. But then when you try to put it out, won't it get like taken down?
It could. It kind of
Depending on how
depends.
big it gets?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that and then there's certain things that are fair use and certain things that aren't. So like
Oh.
I pulled from the Adagio, which is like really, really old. So there's no way that that's going to come
Somebody's
back.
gonna come out. They're probably dead.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Like it's yeah, because at a certain point, all music goes to public domain, so it's anybody can use it for free.
After certain
Oh,
years.
okay.
Yeah,
After
a certain amount of time. So then what becomes complicated is like when people start copywriting stuff, because it's like, I think sometimes people probably copyright things that are not theirs too.
Yeah.
So
That's true.
yeah.
But how does that work in like? I should probably know this, but how does that work in like the remix like space?
Yeah. As long as you're not making money, we were talking about that.
Oh,
actually
if you're not,
on the way
if you
down
don't
here.
monetize it,
Yeah,
right? Okay.
yeah. If you're not monetizing
like put it
you're
on
fine.
Apple. I mean, you
You
can
can still put it
monetize?
out. I think it's.
Yeah, you could put it on SoundCloud. A lot
SoundCloud,
of people
yeah.
do. Apple just will block it in a lot of
Yeah.
cases because they're like, oh yeah, this is
Spotify,
obviously
yeah.
somebody else's. But the other thing is like you can straight up pitch stuff down, and that's enough to like change it.
Oh,
So
really?
yeah, but like nobody's gonna put out a whole mix of somebody else's just like slowed down, 2
Probably
semitones
like
or something like that.
mixtape era, right? Like where they would just like.
yeah. I mean, Mark Ronson is a big influence of mine. He's a producer. He did Uptown Funk. I mean,
Okay,
that's,
yeah, that
probably
name
his
sounds
biggest
familiar
hit.
to
Yeah,
me.
yeah. So I mean, he's a really big producer, and he actually did a TED Talk where he talked about
It's a really
samples.
good TED Talk.
Samples.
Yeah, it's a fantastic TED Talk. And
What
just
is
like,
it when you recreate it?
oh, if you're recreating, that'd just be like a cover.
That's like certain. I think there's
Oh.
a certain name for it, but I
Yeah,
think
you're
my
probably
boyfriend was
right.
showing me something like that. Like there's somebody that's like super good at like recreating it, but it's not
Yeah.
the actual sample. You
That's
know?
cool.
And it's like, well, then they can't get sued, right?
Well,
Like if you
hypothetically.
use your own like instruments, if you
Like,
use.
did you see
Yeah.
the Juice World thing?
No.
No?
No.
Okay, so I guess the Juice World thing, it's like a Sting song.
Oh, yeah,
The
it
beginning of
is.
Lucid Dreams.
Totally.
So it's like, and then
Yeah.
Sting,
That's why I hated that song at first.
yeah, Sting came after like basically all his money.
Probably sued him, yeah.
Right? Yeah, they did, and
Yeah.
they worked something out eventually.
Right.
And then, what was that band? Yellow Card.
Yeah.
They came after him too recently because I guess like the melody.
It was a chord progression, I think.
Yeah, the melody is like almost the same as one of their old songs.
See, that's screwed up. I think that's messed up. When you're like talking about samples that are like direct, like that,
Like,
just,
actual
Like that
samples.
one is like, okay, that's obviously that song.
Yeah.
But like when it's just a chord progression or something like that, like that gets really scary because chord progressions are literally like the building blocks of a song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
like, how do
everybody
you-
uses, and there's not that many of them.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
that was my argument that it's like, how is it that two people cannot have the same idea?
Yeah.
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 Like I could think of something and she could think of something and it's like, oh shit, we thought of the same thing, you
Right.
know?
But
And it's like
because,
I
yeah.
could not even know this Yellow Card song exists.
Yep.
And I
Yep.
come up with the same
It's true.
exactly.
Well, we're all connected in some way, and
Yeah.
so it's like these ideas do get circulated, whether we really are conscious of it or not.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
one of the things that I was like, yeah, maybe it sits in our unconscious. So in
Yep.
sometime, like if I were an artist, like a music artist, like it
Right.
probably would come out, you
Yep.
know,
And
just
it
because
does.
you've listened to it before, but you have no idea that you have.
And it could be something from your childhood.
That's kind of
That's
scary.
yeah, that's the crazy thing. I remember there was I don't remember what show it was, but they were talking about how they wrote a book, and then this book like had the same plot as some children's book or something, and it's like, oh yeah, they read it to them as a child.
Yeah.
And then when they were older, they wrote the same book essentially.
Wow,
Yeah. But I mean, it was just
yeah.
some TV show. I mean, it was
Oh.
just yeah, it wasn't like a
Yeah,
real
but
life
what if
thing.
you make
But
millions
yeah, but like
and
that
millions
could
of
happen.
dollars off of it?
Yeah, exactly.
Obviously, that person's gonna be like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
And I think maybe the importance of it is like figuring out how to pay homage to that
Yeah,
person,
homage is
or
a big
try to
thing.
try to come back to the original idea.
Mm-hmm.
And like when you're buying albums, be like, okay, I bought this album, and now I'm gonna do research on this album to figure out why they made it, or whatever. Because then you're kind of giving it more than just yourself.
Yeah.
You're actually like putting it in for a reason.
For a reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. That makes a lot of
So-
sense.
Yeah, the intention has a lot to do with it. 'cause
Yeah, intention,
if-
definitely.
Yeah, if it's just to make some money, then obviously that's not.
Mm-hmm.
Then that's stealing.
Yeah, that's
Right,
stealing.
right.
That's stealing.
Yeah,
Or
like-
taking advantage. But
Like
yeah.
I love the idea. One of the things I really want to do is take some Native American like old like chants and stuff like that, and
Uh-huh.
like just when they're like playing around the fire and stuff like that, and put that into songs,
Uh-huh.
because I think that would be super cool. But I want to find a good way to like pay homage to that, and like
Yeah.
actually be like homage is the
Yeah.
right way to say that, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I don't know. But it could be really cool, and it could be like a really cool kind of historic thing, because it's like, well, I'm trying to show this thing that maybe a lot of people don't know about right now, or whatever. So.
In that sense, I would just try to give back to the community.
Yeah. Talk to people who are.
You talk to people. That's one of the things too, that it's like a lot of people try to take and run stuff from like certain like cultural appropriation or whatever. So it's like in that sense, I would like talk to the people that actually are within the community, because a lot of people do not do that, you know.
Right.
So I mean, I'm not like artists. Like I would say, I think we know better than that.
People that
but
are in the
actual
community.
like corporations and stuff like that like go and like, oh, we want to do this. It's this inspired, but it's like you know nothing about this, or they don't give back to that community.
Yeah, exactly.
I can't think of an example, but I'm sure there's a
million.
But
and I know exactly what you're talking about too.
Yeah.
We've
like,
all seen it.
Like speak to someone in that space. You know?
Well, and I think it starts with an individual. So if as an individual you're already not caring about that person's culture and actually taking the time to like understand it and get to know them, and then like why are you interested in it? Even, you know?
Yeah,
like,
but probably just because something looks cool or sounds cool. Like
and like then you're just basing it on other people's opinions, really. You're not even thinking for yourself.
No, But that happens a lot.
It does. Yeah. And I'm sure it happens a lot where you're at, too.
A lot, I'm sure. A lot of people take stuff and run with it, but it is what it is.
Is LA, like, really fluid when it comes to just, like...
What do you mean?
I mean, the entertainment scene, but just in general, is, like, people move in and out a lot, or I don't know.
I think so.
I don't know what LA's like.
I think so, but I feel like once you're already kind of, like, involved in some sort of scene, it's, like, the same thing as a small town.
Yeah.
It really is.
Because you have your network.
You have your network, so it's like you kind of run into the same people all over, you know, whether it be it's because you're, like you said, everybody's like connected. Everybody's kind of like on the same mission. Yeah. So, I don't know. It's like it's kind of hard to explain because I don't necessarily feel like I'm a part of any scene, but I know like that I've seen certain people like even on Instagram, like, you know, like this person is this person's connected to this person. A lot of that. A lot of that. So,
nice.
All right. Well, thanks for coming in and talking to us, Karina. I really appreciate your time.
Oh, yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I hope I gave some insight.
You really did,
you did.
But,
yeah, tell us where we can find your stuff and where we can find you.
Okay,
shout out.
So I have a lot of things that I want to shout out. Well, not shout out, but a lot of things going on. So first, I would want to shout out my Instagram page. It's Kari XBAE.
We'll put it.
I'm gonna spell it out. Okay, and then cool. Just because I'm helping my boyfriend, just follow him, Flexitelli, and whatever our future ventures are, because I'm pretty sure we're gonna work together a lot. Nice. And then my collective, just go follow it. Your Eyes Only. I haven't done much yet, but I will soon in the future.
Oh yeah, we'll be looking forward to it.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you.